A brother lost. A child charmed by fairies, a mother devastated by the loss of her son, and siblings yearning for a lost brother. These are some of the few elements that make up the child that went with the fairies. A short story written by Joseph Sheridan Lafanu. The story portrays the sense of loss within the family, how the disappearance of a member left an imprint on their lives. The people portrayed most affected by the loss are the younger siblings, the siblings that were with young Billy when he disappeared. They saw the pretty face of little Billy peeping archly at the door and smiling silently at them. And as they ran to embrace him with cries of delight, he drew back, still smiling archly. And when they got out into the open day, he was gone, and they could see no trace of him anywhere. This is a sentence from the story about the sibling. There may be indications of hallucinations found in the children experiencing severe longing to see their brother. Longing, however, fades with time. In the story, it is told that gradually these visits grew less and less frequent, and in about 8 months they ceased altogether, and little Billy, irretrievably lost, took rank in their memories with the dead. There is still a sense of longing in the heart, yet it is less than before, in which they still hope for his return. Towards the end of the story, one of the brothers, grown up, gazes at the hill, Visnavora, draw from him a sigh and a prayer for the little brother he had lost so long ago and was never to see again. Tells that some part of himself has given up, yet there are still traces of love from him. Throughout the story, Visnavora, the hill in which Billy disappeared, was portrayed as both haunted and evil. It was described as that lonely hill haunt of the good people, and evidences in the story suggests how the mother and her eldest dread it. Excerpts found from the story. Round the cabin stood half a dozen mountain ashes, and as the Roans, inimical to witches, are there called. On the worn planks of the door were nailed 2 horseshoes, and over the lintel and spreading along the thatch grew, luxuriant, patches of that ancient cure for many maladies, and prophylactic against the machinations of the evil one, the house leek. Descending into the doorway, in the chiaroscuro of the interior, when your eye grew sufficiently accustomed to that dim light, you might discover, hanging at the head of the widow's wooden-roofed bed, her beads and a phial of holy water. And as Nell searches for her siblings, how many stories had she listened to by the winter hearth, of children stolen by the fairies at nightfall in lonely places? All point to how the family tries to protect themselves from the fairies of Visnavora. Despite this, Visnavora was also described as a symbol of their longing for their lost brother Billy. A line at the end of the story says, "But there was no landmark to show where little Billy was hidden from their loving eyes, unless it was in the old hill of Visnavora that cast its long shadow at sunset before the cabin door." Tells us that as the members of the family look at that haunted hill, they cannot help but remember their brother. Outcast by Claude McKay. For the dim regions whence my fathers came, my spirit, bondage by the body longs. Words felt but never heard, my lips would frame. My soul would sing forgotten jungle songs. I would go back to darkness and to peace, but the great western world holds me in fee, and I may never hope for full release, while it's to alien gods I bend my knee. Something in me is lost, forever lost. Some vital thing has gone out of my heart, and I must walk the way of life a ghost. Among the sons of earth, a thing apart, for I was born far from my native clime, under the white man's menace, out of time.